Good morning. Let me know if you can hear me by typing 111 in chat. And welcome to anybody who's new here. Thank you for the welcome back, April and Shiny. It's nice to be back, believe me, honestly. Okay, I'm going to make it that the chat will be, you can actually send me private messages as well. So I'll allow both public and private messages today. So if you have a question not related to this topic, send it me in a private message and I will try to answer it at some point. I can't promise I will answer it straight away. Hello, Salman. Shiny, what? Okay, that's how to speak English. Open your mouth and say hello, okay? How to learn to speak English fluently, work at it. That kind of general question, that's not really what this live chat is about. So I'm going to start screen sharing and we will look at the last few posts on live chat. Okay, I'm not going to do 2 weeks worth. It's too much. So let's begin. I'll disappear from voice for a second. Days ago, Susmita came along and said, hello, I am Susmita. Can you help me to improve my communication skill? I want £1 for every time somebody's asked me that. Get involved, explore the network. Yes, we can help you, but only if you help yourself. Okay. Capitalizing is a good idea. And even if you're on the computer, when you're in a learning environment, try to capitalize, punctuate, all the boring stuff. But it's good practice for when you have to write that all-important letter to your future boss or to a potential client. Okay. As Zom said, I usually help people by chatting, having conversations here. Actually, they help me too. That said, what can of help do you need? What can? Can you put help in a can? What kind of help? I think you meant to type. I'll let you off. Okay. So, if you want that kind of corrections, etc., go to the forum. There are more people on the forum and they are willing to help you. Bogdan came along and asked a grammar question. Maybe I'm going to have to start the grammar page again. But I gave an explanation about why we sometimes say people and why we sometimes say a person. Isbar made Zom very happy by agreeing with her. With is W-I-T-H, Isbar, by the way. Okay. And Montader said hello. That's okay, but really, if you're going to say hello, get it right. Capital H, full stop. We got some poetry from Zom. Oh, and big announcement. Zom went to the grammar pages. Look at that. Unbelievable. If you know Zom, you'll know why that's extraordinary. Now, I still haven't seen any 111s. When I say, could you give me 111 if you can hear me? Kind of mean it. April, why do a lot of people forget capitalizing? I wouldn't say forget capitalizing. I'd say forget capitalization. Is it because of using smartphone or is it the education has changed after I left school so many years ago? It's because of computing and laziness. It's still taught in the schools and you'll still get marked down for it, for missing it out in tests and exams. Really, you should only not capitalize and not punctuate when you're fully confident with your English. Otherwise, you get into bad habits and then you kick yourself when you don't get that all-important mark in your next exam. Okay, somebody asked about the word affront. No, that's okay, but really, this is live chat. Get a dictionary and then come and ask about what the word means in a sentence is fine, okay? The hurt becomes a constant affront to us. What exactly does the word affront mean in this sentence? That's okay. I don't mind that kind of question. And as you can see, we had a nice little conversation. When you do get a reply and you're happy with it, mark it up and say thank you, because the next time you come, I might not be so willing to answer. Then there was an announcement. I updated the site's template. If I've broken anything, please let me know. Yes, learnenglish.de has a brand new template. Looks very similar, but it's using slightly different technology. Please, if you find anything broken, let me know on the forum or in live chat. Give me the link to the page that you think is broken and I will go and fix it. Nucci asked for help as well, didn't come back. Mena said wanted help as well, didn't come back. Emil said, find the verb in eat your food, ? Well, that's actually a statement, should have a capital F. And yeah, we can do it. Everybody can do it, but don't come with your homework, okay? Charmaine then said, hi, can someone help me to correct this paragraph and free it from any grammar mistake? Mistakes. You may rephrase it to make it flow better. Okay, well, I would say start using capitalization in everything. Zom has given a lovely correction and has a slight, and I would say this is always important, if it's school homework and you use it, your teacher might think that you haven't done it yourself. So give a little bit of background information. Tell us if it's your homework, in which case we'll probably give you some help, but not word for word correction. In live chat, I would join the forum and go to the writing section if you want that kind of help, to be honest. But Zom was very kind and didn't say that. So that's live chat. Yay! Okay, let's close that down and go to... Now, we're not doing last week's vocabulary challenge because I was away last week, so we didn't do the week before's. So we're going to do the week before last's vocabulary challenge. Think about it. This week, last week, the week before last. So it's 2 weeks ago. If you don't know what the vocabulary challenge is, go to the forum and join the webinar group every week. And you can see here, we've done 52, that's a year's worth, every single week of vocabulary. They're always different. And the week before last was slightly different to our normal ones in that you had to create sentences. And that proved quite difficult for some of you. It's dead easy. Okay, so I hope you can see the picture. What we had was, and this happens in all vocabulary challenges, there will be some instructions. Okay, find 2 things that these people do in their jobs and write a sentence or 2 about it. So it was pretty loose, pretty free writing is fine. So we've got 6 people. Thank you to Shiny for pointing out that the copy had gone a bit wrong. We've got Sally, who's a secretary, Kate, who's a teacher, needs a haircut, Jason, who's a shop assistant. How can she see anything with that fringe? Steve, who's a decorator, Bob, who's a gardener, and again, how can he see anything? And Carol, who's a photographer. And then we had some items to do with their jobs, okay? So all in all, 12 different items, 2 of each matched the job of the person, okay? I don't know what you do, but your job normally requires some kind of equipment, something you need to do, okay? To do your job, okay? I tend to do all my work on a computer now, so I guess I've got one piece of equipment. And sticky notes. I have a lot of sticky notes all over the wall, and a calendar. So Lynn teaches English. She logs onto her computer every morning and checks the calendar. There you are. So you've got several words you can put into a nice sentence. Anyhow, then I was very kind and I gave you the words. Okay. So I gave you some of the things and verbs that would help you to create these sentences. So let's go. Bear with me one moment. I'm just going to go into my Google. Let's go to the forum and see what people did in the vocabulary challenge. And yeah, that's what it's really about, doing. Okay, so I'll make this slightly smaller so we can swap between them. Oop. Okay, here's the forum. If you're looking for the challenge, go to groups. You will need an account. You will not even see groups if you're not logged in. So you will need an account. And of course, it's all free. So you go to groups, you go to join us for webinars and find the vocabulary challenge. And it will have the number. If you see here, vocabulary challenge 52. So we're not looking at 52, we're looking at 51. Scroll down, oh, there it is, okay? And you'll find that some of the other members have taken the challenge, the braver ones among you, and the instructions on how to join. You will always need a password, by the way. You won't be able to take the challenge without the password, which is why you need to have a membership of the forum. Okay, you need to be a member of the forum. Now, that said, you don't have to post your answers in the forum. If you're a bit shy, if you don't want to make mistakes and have other people see them, you don't have to post, but that way you will not get any corrections. Okay. You painted your living room, April. Excellent. I like it. Well done, you. Okay, I can see a couple of hands up asking to chat. Let me see who's asking. Vasila, I don't know who you are. Now, to come and chat in these rooms when it's a busy session, I will need to know who you are from the forum. And for live chat, you will need to have taken the challenge. So let's see. If Mohit's here, I think probably not because he'll be at work. I would invite Mohit in. Shiny, you can raise your hand. And who else replied? April, of course, you can raise your hand. And Monique, unfortunately, wrong time zone, but if Rima comes along, Rima always looks at these and never actually replies. But anyway, sorry if I'm scrolling and it's upsetting your eyes. But anyhow, so if you've taken the challenge, raise your hand. Hi, Rima. Do you want to be Monique today? Okay. So, anybody going to come in and join me? You have to be on a computer or a laptop. You will not be able to get in on your smartphone or tablet. You can participate or you can attend the session on a smartphone or tablet, but you will not be able to speak with me on a smartphone or tablet. You need a computer, laptop. You will need a secure fast connection, preferably hardwired, not Wi-Fi. Although I know a few people who use Wi-Fi, but they've got like really good 500 gig connections. Okay. You just want to listen today. That's not a problem. Are you at work? Okay. April, I'm inviting you in now. Fingers crossed. Now, April's a professional at this. When you join the call, again, you have to be on a PC or a laptop. If I find that you've got a bad connection, I'll kick you because it affects the quality of the call for everybody. When you join the call, you will have to download the app, the Webinar Jam app. Okay. You don't need it to attend the session, but if you want to present, you need it because it's all linked in with streaming on YouTube and actually taking the microphone, etc. It's a bit like being in a Google Hangout. It uses the same kind of technology, but based on the YouTube Hangouts, the YouTube live streaming. Okay. You will also then be asked to do a test. Now, it's not a test, grammar test. I don't do that to you. It's just a microphone and camera test. We don't use the camera, but it will still test it. What's more important is to make sure your microphone is working. And to do that, you say hello or 1, 2, 3. You should hear the sound come back at you. Okay. And then you go to the next test. 3 times it does that for the different levels of how the sessions work. Depends on how many people we have in a session. So you do have to make sure your camera your microphone is working. Otherwise, there's no point joining the call. If you can't talk, why join the call? Just go into the attendee room. Okay. I almost left the room again when I heard the test. Don't do that. Don't run away. So, April, are you in the room? Can we hear you?
Eileen, can you hear me?
I can. Oh, loud and clear. My goodness, that was very loud.
I don't shout.
Please don't. No, it's Monday.
But when I was in the room, I just heard you said the test. Oh my God! I think I will leave the room.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to scare you. It's only the microphone test. We've got a few new people here. I want them to know what happens when somebody joins. It's not instantaneous. I don't click invite and poof, you pop up into the session. You have to pass the test. Anyhow, how are you, April?
Tired, Lynn, tired. As I said, I painted my living room, and now I'm looking at my beautiful white ceiling and a beautiful light green walls the whole time. But I had to do it in 2 days. Oh, I'm so tired now. So I used my your holidays, as my decorating days.
It's just as well I went on holiday then. Otherwise, you'd never have got the room decorated.
Yeah, that's true.
But take a photo and show us your colour scheme. So April is a decorator.
Yes.
Well, there you are. We should have your picture there. I love it. Okay, Shiny, I've invited you in. Let me know when you join. Can you hear me? Can we hear you?
Me?
Yeah, you.
No, because when I try to enter this room, a period of time will disappear.
Yes, you do. Unfortunately, it's the same when I screen share. It's just a feature of the program. It sort of cuts off your connection and then you join the room. It means you lose your chat as well, chat refreshers. It's not ideal, but hey, it's technology. We have to work with what we've got. Okay. Anyhow, I'd like to congratulate you both on completing the challenge. One of you will have to be Monique, as Marco is being a wuss and won't talk to us today. Sorry, when I say Marco to new members, it's very confusing. All these new names, I know. Marco is Rima, but he uses Marco when you talk to him, it's always Marco, and when he writes, it's always Rima. What can I do? Okay. So, by the way, you'll notice Mohit said, I can't access it right now. My clock already shows 11 a.m. Now that's his clock. Remember, everything I do on the network is in my time. 11 o'clock a.m. is 11 o'clock Berlin time. So if you're living in another time zone, you're going to have to do a little bit of clock calculation. Okay. So, as Shiny quite correctly said. Okay, so Mohit started with his answers, and what happens with this vocabulary challenge, if it's a sentence, I try to correct them, okay? Not a dissertation, but individual sentences. So we'll look at the individual sentences, and April, would you like to read out the first sentence that Mohit wrote?
Oh, I can barely read that, Lynn. Can you put it in the chat? No. Can you make it bigger? Yeah. Okay, that's better. My secretary, Sally, answered the telephone call after several attempts. She had no... I can see that. She told me she is typing the letters that need to be sent to the client now.
Very good. Well done. So we've got two verbs. And if you notice, Mohit's put them into the past. That wasn't necessary, but well done, Mohit. So to answer becomes answered. And then he was very good because he then said, told, puts it in the past, but what she was doing. So she told me she is typing the letters that need to be sent to the client now. So a little bit of shifting around in the tenses there. You could also say she told me she was typing the letters, because maybe she was typing the letters in the past, but it's a little bit of difference between reported speech. You can sometimes say she is doing that. She said she is doing it. She said she was doing it. I don't mind. I don't mind. So I don't like to correct absolutely everything, because that's fine. Okay. Shiny, would you like to read the second sentence? I will put it in for those of you who haven't had your eyes tested. Oh, actually, I'm going to make a correction first. Bear with me. Watch how I do corrections. It's always interesting to see. Ba, 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 ba. I've just noticed another mistake. Look at that. Blackboard. It's not a proper noun. It doesn't need to be capitalized. Okay. So let me change that. Go back to there. Okay.
Mr. Kate is writing on the blackboard. I'm sure he will cut my marks because he is very strict with me.
Yes. Oh, thank you. Yeah, well done. You've read the right one. Mohit actually wrote very stringent with me. No, he's very stringent. That can describe somebody, but you wouldn't really be stringent with somebody. I think he meant teachers tend to be strict. So he's very strict with me. Or he's very strict towards me, I would accept as well. Okay. Cut my marks. I was trying to think of something better than that, but he will lower my mark. Yeah, or he will reduce my mark. But I guess, yeah, he's cutting his marks if he's going to remove them from his score, his overall score. So I accepted that in the end. Well done, Mohit. If you watch, well, Mohit always watches this afterwards. So, and again, using the present tense, he is doing it, and then the future tense, he will do it. Okay, so nice use of tenses, Mohit. Okay, number 3, April, if you'd like to read it out.
Jason is helping his customer by giving out packets of salt as quickly as possible, but he needs to learn a lot about bargaining in order to make a decent profit.
Okay, good. I'm not sure where the packets of salt came from, Mohit. It's like, what? But it's a good sentence. It's a good sentence. Okay, nicely read. Now, if anybody's got any questions about the text, not individual words, use a dictionary, but anything in general, then don't be afraid to ask, okay? That's what we're here for. Okay, Shiny.
Steve has been assigned to decorate my rooms. I told him that I'd need dark brown paint on my doors.
Very good. Okay. Now, have you noticed something? Sally's a secretary, but he hasn't actually mentioned who does what job. Okay. So, Mohit, one of the tasks, if you're going to do something like TEFL or IELTS, try to stick to the task given. And the task was to match the jobs to the people and to the equipment. So really, Steve is a decorator and he has been assigned. Jason is a sales assistant. Mr. Kate is a teacher. Okay. So I don't think it's a Mr., by the way. Let's have a look again at Kate. Kate is a girl's name, and I think she's a girl. But I don't know, with that hair, maybe not, but I would have thought Kate is a girl's name. So it would be Kate is a teacher, and she will cut my marks because she is very strict with me. Okay, so nicely done. Let's have a look. Bob, again, mention the fact Bob is a gardener. He's using the mower to cut the grass. After that, he will water the plants. Very good. Sure. April, you're next.
Carol picked some good pictures of her pet dog, Lacey. She's developing the images in such a way that she will be able to use them as wallpaper in her home.
Okay, so here I think definitely Mohit was going, oh, I'm running out of things to match it to. What can I do? So he's got the wallpaper instead of being with the decorator, with the photographer. It's okay. It's okay. But I would have put the wallpaper with the decorator, to be honest. Okay. Now Lacey, I think maybe you meant Lassie, but Lassie is spelled Lassy. One of the most famous dogs in history, Lassie. And developing, April. Not dare.
Developing. Developing.
Yeah, that's it. Well done. Okay. Can you see that stupid message still keeps appearing? Okay. Anyhow, Mohit really struggled trying to incorporate the words, but he managed it. And he made a little bit of an aside at the fact that, yes, on the picture, it's got a typewriter. Okay. So there you go. What can I say? Didn't manage to get the change bit in. We'll see how the others did. Okay. The change is very specific. Look at change, and there's the change. Okay. And so the change here is money. When you give somebody more money than something costs, they give you the change. Okay, so it wasn't anything to do with to change. Okay, anyhow, let's move on. April, this is your turn. So if you read the corrections, can you see them?
I think it's for Shiny. Shiny?
No, it's yours, April.
I have done the pictures.
Yes, but this is yours, so you get to read it all out.
Oh, it's my...
Yeah, it's your post, so you get to read it. Sorry, I now understand why you were going, I think it's Shiny.
Oh,
no, it's April. It says April. Shiny's got her own to read out, so no worries.
I think you need more hit then. Oh, okay. I'm still sleeping, Shiny. Okay, I have my own notice, so I can read it from my own notice, I think.
Yeah, remember I've made some corrections.
Oh, okay, sorry.
So I can post it up if you want. It's fine. Here you go. If it's too small. Okay?
Yes, okay now. Sally is a secretary. She makes a lot of telephone calls and writes a lot of letters. Kate is a teacher. She gives her students a lot of homework. In the class, she writes on a blackboard. Jason is a shop assistant. He loves helping customers. At the cash desk, he gives customers their change when they don't have the exact amount of money. Steve is a decorator. He paints doors and decorates rooms. Bob is a gardener. He mows the grass and waters the flowers. Carol is a photographer. She takes pictures and develops film. Develops.
And also photographer. I know we say a photo, but as you know, sometimes the nouns, the verbs, they change. So a photo, to photograph something, but a photographer.
How
Uh,
you?
okay, I'll go through them again. A photo, to photograph, and a photographer.
A photo, a photograph, a photographer.
That's it.
Okay.
Yes, well done. It's horrible, I know, because you think, yeah, photo, I know that word, and then we change it. Okay, you can see it if you go into Google. Okay, if you have ever worried about this particular way of doing things, go to Google. You'll find here in Google search, just click define photographer. Okay, and then it will give you here that lovely phonetic. You need to learn the phonetic symbols for the simpler sounds. Okay, you don't have to go too much into fricative and glottals and all that stuff, but learning these little symbols is very useful. So you got the schwa there, photographer, okay, photographer, and then you can check it against photograph, and then you got photograph, okay, and photo. You see? It's simple when you know how. Okay. Did you manage to see that? But anyhow, it was very good. Well done. You'll notice one of the things I changed. Okay. He gives the customers the change. The change. I would have accepted he gives customers change or their change, the change that belongs to them. Okay. Okay, April?
You can say their change, but not the change. Okay.
The change. Because it's like you're talking about it generally, what he does generally, not a specific person. Yeah. And if you're talking about to give somebody change, I want my change. He needs his change. It tends to be more of a personal thing than a general thing. So he gives customers, you need to give out change to customers, or you need to give her change, or you need to give him his change. He gives them their change, okay? Because you're talking about people. So we tend to use the, to refer to it as if it's going to people, okay?
Okay, so when you say at the cash desk, you said, or in the restaurant, for example, you will the waiters will give you the change.
Well, waiters will give you your change. You might say to the waiter, "Oh, keep the change." Okay, that's when you can use the, because you're talking about the specific money they've got in their hand at that time, and it's not yours anymore. Keep the change. It's like you're releasing it from being your change into just money that's now theirs. Okay, so you might say keep the change. That's about the only time I would use the definite article there. Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, good. Don't look at my question. I got it. Too late. You've piqued my curiosity. He gives customers their change when they don't have the exact amount of money. Okay, good. Yeah, exactly. It wasn't really a question. Okay, so let's go down to Shiny. Shiny, well done. And Shiny, would you like to read your corrected texts? Okay, so I'll scroll it up and down because I'll put one in here. It was perfect. Well done.
Sally is a new secretary, a newly qualified secretary. She works in an office. Her job is dull and boring. She has to sit at the desk all day, answering the telephone, typing letters, and doing the bookkeeping, but she likes her job. Kate is an English teacher. She marks students' homework with written feedback. Although many teachers have started using tablets in the classroom, She still writes on the blackboard when teaching. Jason is a shop assistant. His job is to receive payments and give change for purchases. When he is not busy serving customers, he monitors the shop activity on CCTV to prevent any shoplifting. Steve is a decorator. He wallpapers rooms and paints doors. Bob is a gardener in Japan who thinks it's an art to cut grass and water flowers. Needless to say, he is proud of his work. Carol is a wildlife photographer. She takes photographs of various wild animals in their natural habitat. She is also good at developing color film at home.
Well done, well done. And I love the way you sort of expanded on the text a bit, but you still got the information that was being asked for. Okay. So well done. Because if you remember in the original challenge, I did give some hints about how to complete it. Okay. So it's very important to follow the hints you're given, and to make sure you're trying to give the examiner or the person marking your test what they've asked for. And you've both done that. Well done. Okay, just a couple of words for you. Okay, first one, grass or grass. I'll accept grass, but because if you go to the north of England, people tend to say grass, and if you go to the south of England, people tend to say grass. I say grass. It's received pronunciation. It's a bit posh. Okay, but grass, not gress or grease. Grass. Try it.
Grass.
That's it. And then same thing with April. Photographer. Yeah, she's a wildlife photographer. She takes photographs.
Yes, photographer.
That's it. Well done. And the last one, habitat.
Habitat.
Yes. Wherever, it's sort of a natural history kind of a word. You wouldn't talk about humans in their habitats, really, because habitat is actually a big shop in the UK. It used to be. I don't know if they're still going. I think they're still going. They got into some trouble, but you say habitat in the UK, people tend to think of the shop. But if you're talking about wildlife in their natural habitat, okay, I don't know what you'd say about me. My natural habitat is sitting at a desk in my office. Okay. Anyhow, any questions? Oh, I just noticed I've put 2 and 2. I don't know why. Maybe it's just brain burp. So, April and Shiny, any questions about your corrections? Anything you're not sure of why I corrected it?
Actually, I don't see the whole correction. Is that, have you done a lot of corrections?
No, it was very good. Sorry, I kind of cut it across and then thought, wow. I think the only one I really had to do is that one. Okay. Maybe I should have but I knew we were going to do the corrected reading, and I didn't want to just correct one and then have to go up and down kind of thing. So yeah, I think it was just that one. So well done.
Okay. But I have a question about Mohit.
What Mohit wrote? Yeah.
To give out, when I read that, by giving out the lot of salts, a lot of packets of salt to give out. In my mind, I was thinking that that shop assistant give it for free to give out. So like you give out. Is it right? What is the meaning here?
I know to give means to sort of gift somebody something, to actually present it to them and say, here, have this. But to give out something just means it's like to hand out. Okay. Now, whether they were having to, I would think they were having to pay for it. But when he wrote that, in my mind, remember when you're writing words, you're putting a picture in somebody's mind. So be very careful what you write. But yes, in my mind, it was like somebody had said salt was running out and everybody went rushing to the shops to get salt. and he was giving them out as quickly as possible and then
Yeah.
taking the money for them. That's literally what Mohit painted in my mind.
Yeah, because yesterday I was trying to do the exercise about phrasal verbs, and from 10, it's always bring to
Your
bring.
nemesis.
Oh my goodness! From 10 sentences, I only got 2 right correctly.
Practice makes perfect. Practice makes perfect. If it's any consolation, I was doing Plusquamperfect in German yesterday, so I feel your pain. I actually had the teacher in stitches. We don't use it when you're speaking, and I very rarely write in German, so it's just something I'm not that familiar with. Anyhow, Shiny also shared some very lovely pictures, Shiny. They're gorgeous. This one with the wisteria. Oh, it's beautiful. I can understand why Bob is proud to be a gardener. Do you think it's redundant that I wrote habitat? Okay, let's have a look again. No, various wild animals in their natural habitat. I thought it was perfect. If I thought it was redundant, I'd have removed it. It was perfect.
Because I have already said that she is a wildlife animal photographer.
Yeah, now that was redundant. Okay. Wildlife animal photographer, just a wildlife photographer. You wouldn't say wildlife animal. She takes photographs of various wild animals, and yeah, in their natural habitat. In other words, you're saying she goes out into the countryside, she travels, she doesn't just go to a zoo and take photos of lions and tigers in their cages. So I think it was perfect to say in their natural habitat. Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, good. Well done. And as I say, I love these gardens. Oh, I'd love to have a garden like that. Isn't it gorgeous? Look at that. I'm not going to show a picture of my garden. It doesn't look anything. And that one, look, oh, it's beautiful. And the wildlife photographer. And another wildlife photographer. Excellent. Well done. Okay, Monique then. Monique, of course, is still in bed. But she does watch this. We'll just do swapping around again, if you're okay. And let's see, April, if you start. Oh, do you need me to cut and paste it, April?
Yes, please.
Oh, okay, sorry. I keep forgetting. Do remind me. You know what my brain's like. Now, Monique's got 2, so I'm just going to talk through this, okay? If you'd like to read it out.
Okay. Sally, secretary, letters, telephone. Sally got a new job at a big company. She's doing great so far. She's on the telephone half of the time, and she has to write a lot of letters during the day. Writing letters is not a big deal for her. The problem is she has to write them in English and Spanish.
In English and Spanish.
In English and Spanish.
You're saying, why are you saying it's ish? Spanish.
Spanish.
What you're saying, I'll type what I can hear when you say that. It's really weird. I've never noticed this. Spanish. No, it's Spanish-ish. Like English.
Spanish.
Hey! And English?
English.
Yay! Perfect. Where did this come from? You've been doing French again. Very good. Now, Monique, again, didn't quite follow the letter of the instructions, okay? Because to be honest, you might think looking at these, oh, this is too difficult for me. This is too tough. I'm not going to do the vocabulary challenge. But what we were actually looking for was something like Sally answers the telephone. She types letters. Yeah, Sally is a secretary. She answers the telephone and she types letters, that kind of thing. Very simple. But of course, as you get more advanced, you'll write more, you'll have more complication in your head. So Monique, don't worry that you didn't follow the letter of the the topic, because you got told off by Shiny later. But it was fine. Good sentences. I'd be quite happy to get those. Yeah. So if you want to take it further, you can. But if you're a beginner, if you're sort of A1, A2 level, don't worry. You can keep it simple too. Don't let the other people put you off. Think, oh, I can't do that. It's too complicated. It can be very simple. So, Shiny, would you like to read the next one?
Yes, Kate was my teacher at middle school. I remember that she used to give us homework every day. She would write it on an old blackboard and then wait for us until we had written it down in our notebooks.
Very good. Well done. Perfect. Blackboard. Don't forget, blackboard would be something like a big black pig. Okay. A blackboard. Get the word endings so as to make it, I mean, it was clear, well communicated, and in the context I would have understood you didn't mean a big black wild pig, but just to illustrate what can happen if you don't get the word endings right, people can misunderstand you. So blackboard, try it.
Blackboard.
Yay, lovely. Nice, better than mine actually. Well done. Okay, April, your turn.
Okay, thank you. Jason has a nice job. He's a shop assistant at a supermarket. Every day he has contact with customers. However, he often comes across situations that have to be sorted out. For example, he says he gets upset when there isn't enough change available in the cash register.
Yay, good, well done. So he's not giving out change. He's upset when there isn't enough change. Again, if you look at the picture, you'll see it's not strictly what was being asked for, but I'd accept it. Very good, well done. Okay, Shiny?
I had to call Stephen. He's a good decorator and interior designer. I called him because I want to renew all the rooms in my house. I even want to refurbish the doors. I wonder if he can help me make some room for a jacuzzi.
A jacuzzi. One of those whirlpool baths, yeah? I wonder if that's what Monique would like to have in her bathroom, actually. So again, using it a little bit, didn't quite go in the right way. It's got decorator, doors, rooms. It's actually paint. And I wouldn't, honestly, Monique, when you're watching this, I wouldn't say renew the rooms in my house. Refresh maybe, or redecorate. To redecorate. You can decorate, and then when you're refreshing the rooms, you redecorate. Okay. But it was okay. It was clear what you meant. The grammar was perfect, but I might go in and put it in brackets or something. Okay. But yes, I don't know if she quite got the meaning of the picture here. If you notice, doors, yeah, rooms there, and I would say to redecorate a room would fit that picture better, and to paint the doors, okay, because we've got paint here and wallpaper here. So also you could have said to wallpaper the rooms, or to put wallpaper on the walls. So again, when you're doing it as a test or an exam, do make sure you're going to put these words in, okay? Okay, so let's go back. And April. Okay, there you go.
Okay, thank you. Bob looks after the flowers and the lawn in my garden. He is the best gardener I've ever had.
Lucky Monique having a gardener.
Yeah.
Very good. Yeah, perfect. Nice, simple. And however, again, if you look at the actual instructions, where's the word cut? Say to cut the grass. And that's what he's doing. Okay, I accepted to mow, but if you're going to do a test, that's the word that would match the grass, to cut the grass. Monique actually came back and redid it, which I thought was very good. But you must have struggled like mad to fit everything in without following those instructions. The instructions made it far more simple than you did, Monique, but I hope you learned a lot from it. And last but not least, let's have a look. Shiny.
Carol is a National Geographic photographer. She covers all about wildlife in the Amazon and has a huge collection of pictures. These days, she's working on a new film about endangered species.
Very good, and well done, Shiny, photographer. And yeah, then Shiny came along and said, there's a description written at the bottom of the page which used those verbs to make new sentences. And you're quite correct. So you actually get an agree. Okay, so we're running out of time. I will read the final sentences. And Monique, as I say, well done, Monique, for redoing it. You didn't need to, because we're not doing a test or exam here, but Shiny is quite correct. In a test or an exam, you didn't quite follow and use the words you were meant to. Okay. And remember that next time you get another of these writing sentences with prompts. They are common in exams and tests. You get a prompt, you get given the word to write the sentences. You must include those words in the sentences. You really have to. But you can also be creative. And on the network, we don't mind. We like creative. So Sally, apart from answering calls, has to take telephone messages and write letters. Very good. Carol had to develop some pictures at home because she couldn't do it at work. Very good. Is the gardener cutting the grass? Well, it's Bob, actually. Yes, he is. He's watering the flowers as well. Stephen has installed a new wallpaper in all rooms. Now, you don't really install wallpaper. You install a computer. You install a new TV system or a new, if you've got one of those home cinemas, you install that. But you don't install new wallpaper. So Stephen has wallpapered all the rooms. That's what I would say there. Okay, Stephen has wallpapered, because to wallpaper is also a verb. All the rooms. Okay. Or you could say Stephen has put wallpaper on all the walls. Okay. As soon as he finished it, he painted the doors. Stephen did the work because I don't know how to wallpaper myself. Do you know, some people say women are better at wallpapering than men? Okay. But it's a good idea to say you can't do it, because then somebody else will do it for you. So Jason has to mark down the price of all dresses. As shop assistant, he must serve all the customers. Okay. Jason has to mark down the price of all the dresses, because you're talking about the dresses in the shop. As a shop assistant, he must serve all the customers. Okay. You didn't actually get the giving change bit there. Okay. So he gives the customers their change. Okay. Never mind. The teacher asked me to write on the blackboard all the answers to the math homework. Good luck with that. Actually, very rarely we use blackboards anymore, to be honest. When teaching, it's normally whiteboards, or these, if you're in a posh school, these great big electronic display boards, which is nice, but they're very expensive. But in my day, it was blackboards. And of course, I'll admit, yes, we don't use typewriters anymore, except I have got one, okay? It's really nice. I've got a typewriter and I sometimes type letters. So you can laugh at me if you want, but I do. Mowers, yeah, you can still buy mowers that look like this to cut the grass. Blackboards, usually whiteboards now. Telephone hasn't looked like that since I was a child. But we still say telephone and to phone. Film, Yes, you can still buy film cameras. Okay. Change. Yeah, we still have money. It's not gone yet. To serve customers. Okay. Photographs. A photographer. Haven't seen a camera like this ever. It's even before my time. But you know that it's a camera. Water the flowers. Do your homework. Paint the doors. Decorate or wallpaper the rooms. And to wallpaper really, honestly, is a verb. To mark down, to reduce. Yes, to mark down. Yeah, that's right, Marco. Okay. So when you're doing these in a test or an exam, as I say, read the instructions and make sure you read all the instructions. And if you are confused, you can always go to the actual vocabulary challenge. And I even gave you an example sentences. Lynn runs the network. She teaches us English. Okay. Any questions before I go? We've run out of time. Now, to those of you who are new and you want desperately to come and speak, make sure I know who you are. Take part in the challenge. Be on a PC or a laptop. Go through put your hand up then, and you will be asked to join the room. If you want to come to a session on Friday, we're a little bit more relaxed about who comes and speaks, and anybody who can actually get that connection working can come and speak. But in the other sessions, it tends to be about who's taken part in the challenge or who's watched the video, who's introduced themselves on the forum. Okay? It's time to grab a bite. Okay, yay! Time for my coffee, actually. That will wake you up, April. We'll be in Kitely to carry on reading Call of the Wild later. If you can't join us, you can watch it streaming on YouTube. Send me a message in the forum. I'll send you the link. And you can always watch it later. You'll hear April and Shiny again, maybe. Maybe Marco can read today. I don't know. But we will be carrying on reading the book. And you can also watch some of the previous sessions recorded. So thank you. Yeah. Sorry, April.
Test the voice, Lynn? Are you going to test the voice?
I'll try to be 5 minutes early so we can just check the actual streaming. It's a little complicated because it means I have to start the stream because what I hear and what's on the stream, no, they don't match. Although sometimes what I do hear isn't perfect, I have to say. I mean, it's technology. Come on. I'm just going to stop screen sharing. Okay, so in principle, yes, April. I'm not sure, though, what I can do about it. If it does come through sound. I mean, how do I sound today? Does my voice sound okay?
Your voice is always clear, but our voice, so it is, I was
thinking, well, remember, it's taking my voice directly from my microphone. Yeah, so it's always going to be. But yeah, I have to say that what I hear is slightly clearer than what's being recorded at the moment. And it seems to have got worse. The first sessions weren't as bad. But it can sometimes just be because, you know, other people are there and taking up bandwidths, etc. We can give it a go and see if we can do anything. Okay?
Okay.
Okie dokie. Well, thanks for joining us. Take care. Hope you enjoyed it. You can watch the replay and take part in the challenge tomorrow. Okay? It will be a little bit more like the normal ones, just giving names. Oh, and well done to everybody who tried the challenge from last week. I know it was a toughie, so we'll be looking at that in Kitely on Friday, okay? Oh, dear. Your reaction, April, was hilarious. Don't panic. Don't panic. Just write what you can. Remember, it's not a test or an exam. You can write pretty much anything you want, even if it's, I don't know any of these words. It's still writing. It's still engaging. And hopefully you learnt a few new words as well. Okay, take care, everybody. Bye.
Bye.
Excellent. Thank you, Rima. Thank you, Marco. Bye.